how do I manage being online poker player and being a dad at the same time for two kids? I think the kids give many lessons about online poker, actually, about mindset, um, about risk, and about not gambling. So I remember when the second kid was a baby, and I was already a pretty confident parent, like, you have handled one kid past the baby stage. I know babies, right? So I put the baby sleep in daytime. I think it was like 2 p.m. And no, they sleep at daytime, and he sleeps for 1 hour, so or 2 hours. So I put him to sleep and started crying on the book. But but then I didn't think that the stakes are too high. I was very confident. The crash two stakes. I think it was like fixed limit $2 buy-in, fixed limit $1 buy-in on Pokerstars, something like that. And I was just crashing it, very confident and super happy that I made this leap in mindset that being with baby alone and also, winning in online poker, super nice motivation boost. But now, like 7 years later, I think the stakes are too high. So the kids really teach you that there's no need to take this big risk, right? So another thing is what people ask is like, where is the money coming from? And the real question behind where is the money coming from is like how they get that relationship is the real question behind it. So 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 be honest with yourself. Like, do you really want the money or do you want the relationship? So you need to be really honest. Like, go for go for one of them at once. I think otherwise it's like too much gamble. Let's say you play at this online poker in a live casino, not online poker, like poker in a live casino. You're really trying to look beautiful and trying to get the dealer to marry you. And I don't think that's a good idea. So focus on the game, right? And give a tip to the dealer, if you want to support that casino, but don't try both at once. Trying to get a relationship and win at the same time. I think focus on one thing maybe. Yeah. Well, I haven't tried. Maybe you can do those two things at once, but your poker results will probably suffer a little bit. So now I like invented this game dev company. I go to unemployment center many times and we never find suitable job for me. All of those weren't suitable because I was super busy at home with kids. I said I can't do the skills, right? It is impossible for me. I really felt that somebody needs to be there with kids, like always 24/7, able to support them. So I felt like I can't go to those jobs like away from home. I can't do that because I felt that the kids need that much support. This was my feelings. So we don't find like the suitable job for me at unemployment center. And people keep talking and they still go there and then with that, like maybe this like a company owner. So I really learned about that and super happy to launch my own company and now it brought like 300 euros a month the last 9 months or more even. And because I was giving the physical video games development workshops in school. So, but these were like 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day and twice a week only. So I still have this some type of time to be fully there for the family. So I only need like this 2 days a week, 1 or 2 hours, like to deal with this education in schools, teaching video game development. But this money is like super nice for online poker player. Well, I haven't been like a professional live player, but I have been professional online poker player, and online poker player, you're especially at the more beginning phase, you're kind of worried like how does your month perform, and is it really like winning months or losing months? You're kind of worried about that. So you have this game, the company that every month is positive, right? So it's super nice, like, because you don't lose or something. This is I also like about jobs. You don't ever lose. This is rare in poker where you always you have this chance to to have a losing month or losing 3 months. It can happen if it's normal, right? But in jobs you always get the money, right? So that's kind of nice. If you can do that, there are many benefits to having a job. But now I wish to return to one poker player, and I really feel confident about just talking about how children really change their schedule, right? You were used to like grinding till 5 a.m. and then going to sleep and sleep till noon, and Petri now is like he said like he wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes to bed at 9 p.m. This feels very relatable to me at the moment. Like whenever the kids are around, I always go to sleep exactly at 11 p.m. and wake up at exactly like 8 a.m. It's always a fixed schedule, like, they have school or kindergarten or stuff. In the summertime it's more free. But it's very, very enjoyable, I would say, because when they go to school or kindergarten in daytime, and well, they're gone at 9 a.m. or something, and I'm stay at home dad, so now I have these many hours to do whatever I want in the online poker world. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about this risk that is no longer the mistake, right? You no longer take those risks. This is also what young people don't get, right? If I don't take a big risk, I can't get the winnings quickly, right? But it doesn't matter. What matters is your training and getting better in the training, right? So then you will crush all of these stakes, right? Then you will crush any stakes, right? If you train and get better, who cares if you got rich quickly? But if you train more properly and get better, and don't take this huge risk, it will work out better in the long term. So anyway, what I did the last how many years, like 18 years, all of my poker life, I always played at too high stakes. And this, for one reason, it's a bad idea. You take these challenges, but these challenges really make you tired. You take like too high challenges. You always, go beyond your limits. You always kind of challenge yourself. You always kind of test yourself on these too high stakes. And that is the mistake, kind of, because that makes you tired. Like, it's as if you play soccer and you set this goal for yourself. I must score like 4 goals in this tournament, or in this game, in this soccer game. I must, and that is the goal. And if I don't, it's a failure. So there's no need to set this big goal. It's enough if your team wins like 1-0, right? But if you have this insane goal that you need to score 4 alone, right? It's wrong goal, right? So I had this for a very long time. I need to be able to beat those higher stakes, and I need to always challenge myself. But this is kind of lack of self-respect, lack of self-worth, and in the end you're too tired. So I remember I was like, I tried to outplay these people at high stakes, I succeeded, but now I am so tired I don't have any time for family. So it kind of does that. And you don't notice that. You thought like, maybe if I play even higher and challenge myself even more, and then I will be able to, somehow kind of be the family person. It doesn't work like that. So, this is I discovered this year, like playing very low stakes at 6 months. It works the opposite actually. don't go there. Don't get too tired. I focused on stamina training also in running, and this kind of helps with that. It kind of teaches you that don't get too tired. If you are too tired, you can't be there for these people. You can't be there for yourself. You don't finish the run. You make yourself too tired, which is wrong. Right? So the mistake was in sports. Like, I challenged myself too much. Again, I think it's a mistake of a young person maybe. Like, if I could win taking this high risk, I would be that superstar and so much wonder. But nobody cares about it. Nobody cares how much money you made. Right? Nobody cares. It's like people want to have fun with you. People want to play normal games with you, like sports games, and people want other things. They want support with real estate. They want support with cooking. They want support with cleaning the house if something happens, or they want taking care of children. That's a big one. They want those things. Right? They're not interested if your bankroll has grown 50%. Nobody cares about that. Absolutely nobody. So that's a very big gamble, right? If you go there, like next month I will have like 1,000 instead of 100. No, that's a risk because nobody cares about your results, those results. But let's say next week I want to do better childcare. Everybody's like, where is that person? I want that. So this children taking care of children has taught me like don't take these big gambles, don't take these big risks. And I only discovered this last 2 days. Like I suddenly realized it has worked out way better this not playing at too high stakes. And I don't do that anymore. I don't plan to do that anymore at all, because the opposite worked out way better. It's almost unbelievable, but I suddenly wasn't tired after 8 years. Like I had this habit of pushing myself to do big challenges, and I was always tired, never being able to take care of everybody, never being able to even do my sports training properly. I was always tired by trying these too high challenges of playing at too high stakes and winning a lot faster. So it makes you tired. But now I realized I suddenly wasn't tired, and I had this time and energy to do actually profitable things for my business, and really enjoying not being super tired. So super happy to find out that it's my own fault. Right? I sometimes, as a young person, I'm still 34, getting 35 soon. I still, sometimes suspected that it's everyone else's fault, that the world is in catastrophe, and that's why I'm super tired. Right? I still suspected that, and this makes you paranoid. Right? You suspect that it's the fault of the world that you're tired. Right? But the reality, the truth is that you try to win too high stakes. You try to win at too high stakes, and that's why you're tired. Right? And that's your own fault. The world isn't in catastrophe. It's your own fault. So it does lead to paranoid thoughts. This wrong mindset, like accusing others. He didn't do this and she didn't do that, and that's why I'm tired. So it isn't true. Even you went there, you took these big high risks, you took these very high challenges. Now you can't handle your life. It's your own fault. That is the truth. Right? But you don't always notice that because you're used to these high risks already, and it doesn't matter these small things. But actually, those small things are the most important, right? Better cooking for the family, in a way is more profitable than crushing, mistakes. Yeah. So there is this correct mindset, So these children really bring it out that they actually demand that they say what they want, right? Yeah. So there's these periods where kids are not around. They're at my parents' or or well, that's the only place Keating is here trying to interrupt. So that's the only place where they can be right, where you know. Where else could they be for a long time? They're still pretty small. So then I can just freely grind whatever I want. Or when they're at school and kindergarten, then I can freely grind, but then I still kind of need to prepare the cooking and stuff. But with kids, I've also learned to not gamble. I tried playing with phone while they are watching TV next to me, but it's a very high gamble. I still won, but it's a little too high risk, I wanted to see how they react. Like they start asking questions. Oh, that's an interesting game. What are you doing? I'm almost losing. I can't. Yeah. And it's not worth these high risks. So what if I don't make like million? Like it isn't worth it at all. I would say. Like we were like all in or nothing. Like 0 or a million. Right? I was like that for 18 years. But now it's like I have this 200 euros at the savings account. It's bringing like few buy-ins. Every day. This interest is banking or something. So it's like it's very interesting how it isn't all in or nothing anymore. Like it's like you can have a normal life as online poker player. You can have a normal life as stay-at-home dad, and it isn't. It doesn't need to be all in or nothing. And this is what the coaches told me also at the coaching site. Okay, don't aim for the TV star. Right? Aim for a realistic career, suitable realistic career.